What's up, guys? You join me on a rainy Sunday morning, afternoon, I don't know what time it is, at the Georgia World Congress Center for the 2023 Georgia International Auto Show, which isn't as international as you think. But let's go inside, check it out, see what they got.
Oh, I'm kidding.
Nice to meet you, ma'am.
Leather on the seats.
Oh God, what a boat this thing is.
Oh, the third row seating is amazing.
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
there's lots of space back there in the third row. You got your tri-pane sunroof, so you got one over the third row. That one's not gonna open, but this front one's gonna open. But yeah, you're gonna adjust your seat up here. And then also, there's seat adjustments up here up a bit. But you can have your lumbar and everything that you can move.
This is
up to like 20 different ways you can adjust your seat.
This is just.
But yeah, you can really
it works.
feel it.
Oh yeah. And someone left the heated seat on this one on, so that was very nice.
Oh yeah, it's not on right now. I think it was just
somebody had just left it on.
Oh, mine is on.
Wow.
And it is nice.
I'll show you too. There's massage seats up here, so I'll turn them on just so you can feel them, and then you can turn them off. Oops.
I literally just repaired a massaging seat in a Range Rover this week, so
Gotcha.
good comparison.
Yeah. So then you can feel, if you want to shut it off, you can always shut it off.
And we have our back camera there in the mirror. That's ever since that's come out for these big SUVs, that's been the nicest touch on these. You can get this on this vehicle, you can get this on Defenders. It's really, really nice for maneuverability in town, so you can see what's going on.
Yeah, and then you got built-in navigation on here, TomTom navigation system.
Old TomTom, I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Wow.
Wow. And the interface works incredibly well. I like how crisp this is. It responds just like a tablet does. I mean, this is impressive. I mean, I think Chrysler so far has really stepped up their game here, but the proof's going to be on the road for this thing.
I'll show you two of the cameras. So we got bird's eye view camera, surround camera, then you got a fisheye in the back, a fisheye in the front with the cross front protection, path detection. Then you got a normal just front view, and you can check on what you're towing to. This tows up to 9,850 pounds in the Grand Wagoneer.
To a boat.
Yep, and there's also fam cam too, so you can spy on what's happening in the back seats. You can see what they're watching on the Amazon Fire TVs.
I can see a lot of parents really liking this.
Yeah.
And I do not know of any other SUV that has this, or any car currently for sale in the United States that has this feature. So
actually, the Pacifica has it too.
Oh, well, it's a minivan, so.
Yeah. Yep, and then there's also a passenger seat screen here. So I have a screen over here. I can control the Amazon Fire TVs that are in the back. I can control navigation. I can plug in an HDMI cord and watch something on here. And when you're looking straight at the road, it shields you from being able to see it. So I can watch something on here while you're driving.
Yeah, I can barely notice it over here. I mean, I know it's on, but I can't, which is good, because it's if I'm over here, that is not distracting me from what I need to do.
Yeah. Essentially.
I think.
And then that's going to be the zone for either your back or your butt. So you're going to press heat or you're going to press cooled, and then you can press the zone to whether you want it back, butt, or both.
Very
on that
nice.
Zone button. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Where I need to find the seat again. Where was the seat?
Oh, the seats.
Yeah, where is the
massage?
Yeah, we're gonna turn that off.
Gotcha.
Well, for now we are.
I'll show you too. There's a refrigerator in the center console. You
That
put
thing's
your
big.
hand in there. You can see. Oh, it pops out sometimes. Hold on.
Oh, there we go.
Someone yanked it forward. There we go.
Ah, the pitfalls of a press car. People break them.
Yep, someone yanked it forward, so sometimes it pops out. But yeah, that's that refrigerator.
Hey, you can fit a 6-pack of beer in there.
Yeah.
Easy.
Or waters, because we're driving, but...
Oh, please, this thing's going to Charlotte International Speedway. This ain't going to the bike trail. I know who's buying this.
Here. But yeah, and then I'll just show you the air ride suspension. I'll boost this up. If you want to look at the hood of the car, you can see that we're moving up.
Ooh.
So we can move it up and down with this little air ride suspension manually on here. So if someone's older and wants to get into the car, you can lower it down and stuff like that. But yeah, there's also relax mode on here. So we'll put in relax mode and you can have your crackling
Oh,
fireplace
look
come
at that.
across.
Whoa,
All
that's
the
dope.
screens.
And you thought
That's
your
dope.
Tesla had a gimmick to it. Tesla doesn't have this.
So you can get your massage and relax at the end of the day.
I could totally see driving this thing on a cold winter day in New Hampshire and it's pouring down snow and you just put the heated massaging seat on and watch that as you're just driving on a country lane. Oh,
Nah, you don't want to do that driving down the road.
Yeah, I don't think it lets you have the fireplace on as you're driving.
does it? Oh, that's too bad because it was rather soothing.
Yeah, because you would go to
It
sleep.
might be a little too soothing.
Yeah.
It might be. You might have
you're
a
going
point
straight
there.
to sleep with
But I
that.
think that's everything I want to show you before we get going. But do you agree to follow the rules of the road?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sounds good. If you're ready, we're going to pull off to the left
I
here.
just love how gimmicky this thing is. I mean, it's an American SUV. It's meant to just do a couple of things. It's not meant to be gimmicky. But
There's
it is.
lots of things on this. And you'll notice too as you're driving you have a heads-up display that will appear on your windshield. It'll tell you what speed you're going, and it'll also, once we get on the main road, tell you what road you're on and the speed limit as well.
I also like the fact that I have still some normal controls that you would expect to find in a vehicle like this.
Yeah.
This is all leather.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is real wood, all the
Yeah,
wood
it is.
trims, real wood in here.
I think a lot of fans of the original Wagoneer are kind of a little disappointed that you can't get the wood on the outside, but it's nice that they put it somewhere.
Yeah, they put it on the inside to, you know, make sure they incorporated the old Wagoneer into it.
Well, yeah, you had the old Wagoneer was such an iconic American vehicle, and it basically started the SUV craze before it really was a thing. I think the Ford Explorer got a lot of credit for that as well, but it was really with Jeep. They did it way before anybody else did.
We'll make a right at the stop sign.
Brake pedal feels decent. So are these electronic brakes, or is there an actual physical connection to the brake pedal, to the master cylinder?
Not 100% sure. If I look under
Is this a V8?
brakes,
This is a 5.7 Hemi V8.
It's a 6.4.
Oh, 6.4. Oh, it's a 6.4. Okay.
Oh,
Well,
it
Get
feels
in the
nice.
left lane here. We're gonna make a left at the stoplight up here.
We're going to Marietta Street.
Yeah.
This is they definitely got the tuning on this right for a big heavy truck.
Yeah, because it feels good.
It does. It feels good. It's smooth. It's got good low down torque on it. Brakes are decent. The steering's fairly light. You don't get a ton of feedback through the wheel, but it's a luxury SUV. You're not looking for sporty here. You're looking for comfort, and this is very comfortable. And we're going down what I know is a very bumpy road.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going straight down here. I'm not sure what these cars in front of us are doing here.
Oh, it's
but-
well, they're tourists.
Gotcha. They're a little lost.
They're a little lost. We live here, so
Gotcha.
I mean, just first impressions. I mean, I can't believe this is a Chrysler product. I really can't, because I remember when Chrysler made some dogs. And this is not that. This is a very, very nice vehicle. And they didn't make this like, yes, I know it has some off-road capability, but I think they more focused on where this thing's going to be spending most of its time, on the road, hauling families around, pulling a boat, going camping. Like, that's what you want for this. You want this to fit the family that is actually going to drive this. Most people are not going to go rock crawling with this thing.
Exactly. I mean, you still can. There is a rock mode, there is a sand and mud mode, so it still can off-road. It's got its off-roading pages, but I always say, if I got this vehicle, it's so expensive that I wouldn't trust myself off-roading with it.
Well, most people who own Land Rovers, it's the same thing. I mean, very rarely do you actually get a Land Rover customer that will use it for its intended purpose. This is the purpose that they used it for.
Mm-hmm.
But this is, so far, this is a legit contender for a Range Rover. It really is. And I don't say that lightly, because I've driven a lot of Range Rovers. I've worked on a lot of Range Rovers, but this definitely is something you should look at if you're considering purchasing a big full-size luxury 3-row SUV that's in this price bracket.
We're gonna make a left right in front of this brick building, right here. Yep, this left. But yeah, and a lot of people are surprised it's a Jeep, but that's why they kind of branded it. Doesn't say Jeep a ton of places on it anywhere, because they want to go for its own separate market, if that makes sense. We're gonna make a right here.
I love the ride in this thing. The ride in this thing is probably the most impressive thing about it, because I've driven, this is just not something you typically get out of an American SUV, but you do now.
Yeah, you do now.
Big old power.
It's basically got everything you could ever imagine.
And it's got a Hemi in it.
Yeah. We'll make it right.
Which we all love and know very, very well. I know Chrysler's kind of getting towards the end of the production with this engine, and that actually makes me really, really sad because it's such an iconic engine in the automotive world.
Yeah, it's disappointing, but you know, emissions laws and everything, the market's just going in a different direction, so.
Hey, I think it'll be good news for mechanics. There'll be a lot of people that'll buy these and keep them on the road because they want to keep this.
Exactly, yeah.
You hardly feel this thing shift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hear it shift more than I actually feel it shift. You can't feel anything through the floor. It's seamless, the transmission in this thing.
Suspension is nice.
The suspension's very, very nice. Well, the big difference between Chrysler and a lot of the other American pickups and SUVs out there is this actually has coil springs in the back as standard on like a Ram, but this one's got air suspension, but it's set up more like a coil spring setup instead of a leaf spring setup, which is, you definitely feel a difference. I mean, I've driven between a Ram and an F-150, even a Ram with standard suspension on it. A Ram just rides better. It just does. Nothing against the F-150, it's a nice product, but I would buy the Ram.
Yeah, and the 1500 we have for test drive has that air suspensions feature on it too as well.
This is so easy to drive.
It doesn't feel as huge when you're driving.
No, it doesn't, but you're driving basically a city block here. On a city block, as you can tell. And it's lovely. It really is. This thing on a road trip would be the best thing to have. That's where this really would shine. But it does incredibly well in town. The maneuverability is good, considering it doesn't have rear steer.
Yeah, we're gonna make a right here at this stoplight.
Right.
But I mean, the only thing it doesn't do is drive itself, basically.
That's fine. I'm good with that.
Yeah. It has the lane keep assist. It has adaptive cruise control, so it's gonna bump you in your lane, and you can have the cruise control adapt for you, but you just still have to have your hands on the steering wheel.
See, I'm with Matt Farah on this when it comes to lane keep assist. If you actually are a person that needs to use the lane keep assist all the time, you should have your driver's license taken away and you shouldn't drive.
Very true.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, but it always just helps, I guess, if you're on a long road trip or something on the highway. It will help you just stay in your lane, I guess.
Well, you know, this thing's made in Detroit, and just like here, you got to avoid potholes. Lane keep assist will pull you right back into the pothole that you're trying to avoid hitting.
True. We're gonna go straight through this light, and then at the next one, we're gonna make a left.
This is fantastic. It really is overall fantastic.
It is my favorite one to be in. I get my massage seat, and I have tens of millions of things to talk about.
I'm telling you. Well, as I'm discovering as I'm getting older, I do like having a nice, comfy, quiet vehicle as a daily. Because I currently have a very ancient but very good condition Mercedes from 20 years ago.
Gotcha.
And it's just quiet and it's smooth.
It also has noise cancellation, so you can't really hear what's going on outside as much in this.
No, that's... Let's see, and we got double glazing here. Good. No, you can't. This thing, honestly, is just as quiet. And I'm sorry to keep comparing this to a Range Rover, but that's really what it should be compared against. Honestly, this doesn't deserve to be compared to a Ford Expedition. This deserves to be compared to a Range Rover.
It's more like Navigator Escalade type comparison versus...
Yes, but this has a much more contemporary layout inside than the Escalade. The Escalade, I love the Escalade, but it looks like something out of a Tron movie in the inside. This has a much more contemporary feel to it. You can tell, I love the wood touches in this thing. I could look at this all day.
And it's all real wood. That's the big thing too, between like a Grand Wagoneer and a normal Wagoneer. You're not going to get the wood in the normal Wagoneer.
Yeah, what's the point of having this if you don't get the, there's no point in having this if you don't get that.
We're going to turn back in where that big C is off to the left.
Hey, look, Fareed, we got more turn signals that sound like a Casio keyboard. It's not quite as the 80s sound that they had in the Rivian, but, you know, it's definitely there. Look at this. That's full lock, and I didn't even need it.
Yep.
Wow.
All right, we'll pull in behind that other Grand Wagoneer right there.
No problem. It's a good thing there's enough space, because I don't want to parallel park this thing.
Oh, yeah. It has the parallel park assist.
Okay, so final thoughts on the Atlanta Auto Show. Well, there wasn't a ton of representation inside from a lot of the European brands other than Volkswagen. We're missing Mercedes-Benz, we're missing Porsche, a lot of the exotic brands. Unfortunately, they're just never here. And the Tundra and the Sequoia, real letdown in the interior for the price, because when you compare it to a Dodge Ram, there really is no comparison. The Ram's a better truck, and that's the one I would recommend, honestly. And I'm a guy who has had Toyota products for the last 20 years. Big surprise of the show, all the different vehicles that we drove. We'll have some separate videos of that for you later. And the Grand Wagoneer, fantastic luxury SUV. If you are looking for a big 3-row, all-American, all luxury, just hands down, the best thing I've driven today, best thing I've looked at today, quite frankly. It's a big game changer for Chrysler. I'm glad to see that American manufacturers are stepping up their game. And also the Chevy Bolt was a great little economy car for the money. You could get a base model of those with the tax credit. You could be under $20,000 for 250-mile EV range in town. What more do you want? But it's definitely worth the show checking out. If you've been to the show, you know, please let me know in the comments below. What did you think about this show? What would you like to see me drive in the future? What kind of cars do you want to talk about? That's what I'm here for. My name's Adam, and this is my car channel.